Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. Lately at the showroom, we've gotten a bunch of shipments of new trees. And as these new trees have been landing, I was realizing how much trees really transform a space. I know when I'm doing an install, we're installing the upholstery, the bedding, the pillows, and really the room really starts to transform and really get cohesion as a space when you drop in greenery, whether that be trees, plants, florals. So I think everyone can agree how important of a role plants, whether it be live or permanent, play in any space. I kind of wanted to share with you today some tips and trends and tricks, things that I've been seeing when it comes to trees. There's a lot of varieties out there, and as trends come and go, different trees gain and change their popularity based on what's happening with decor. So right now, there's some really cool styles that are out there. One that we're seeing that was popular quite a while ago that's starting to kind of reemerge as a big trend is a fishtail palm. Now, even though it's a palm species, don't think that it has to stay in a coastal type of interior. A fishtail palm is a really great tree to update a traditional space. It's kind of airy and wispy with variegated edges, but it has a nice fullness to it, and it really can update a very traditional space and make it feel a bit more casual and kind of approachable. Another tree that we're really starting to see pop up all over and really be, I would say, the next front runner, kind of competing with the fiddle leaf fig in popularity, is a big bird of paradise. Now, these trees, of course, are a tropical type of tree, but they work really, really well in a more minimal, contemporary type of interior. I think they're really bold with a big, broad leaf. And a really striking dark green color. They're nice because you can get them tall without being too full in girth. They also are nice because you can get them big as well as more of like a small kind of like a bush, kind of a little floor plant, which is really, really good because we always have those spaces in our homes that we need to layer in different heights. This is one of my new favorites, something that you'll be seeing here a lot in the showroom, and I think is only going to gain traction in the next years to come. Another type of plant that I think is really starting to be very hot as we see more interiors that are a bit more minimal or boho in style is that of a yucca or a dracaena type of a family. These are great. They really work well with succulents, with a more modern or boho type of aesthetic. They're also great because we can get some smaller varieties that maintain a really narrow kind of a width, and you can still get height. I mean, this piece, imagine if you put it in a container, you can get a really nice height on it without taking up much space. You also see a variety of color in these. So you can get some leaves that have a little bit more of a blue. We have some leaves that have some red tips on it, which is great if you're looking to introduce color. And then we also have a varietal that goes from a deep hunter up to a grassy green. So these are great plants if you're looking to infuse something that feels a bit more funky, more modern. Definitely layers in great with the coastal vibe, with the boho vibe, or a little bit more modern. Another tree that is popping up all over Instagram, and I personally love it, and I'm just starting to see some really beautiful varietals available in the faux, is an olive tree. These are great. They look beautiful in a kitchen. They look great in a dining room, even styled in other spaces like a large laundry room. These have a really beautiful leaf texture, a nice variegation of color in the green tones, and lots of little cute little olives on them. So if you've been seeing them online and you really don't want the maintenance of having a live olive tree, there are some really beautiful faux varieties available. Last but not least, one of my favorites, one of most of my customers' favorites, is the fiddle leaf fig. I love the fiddle leaf. I feel like it works beautifully in a traditional, a modern, a casual environment. What I wanted to point out is that even within the fiddle leaf, there's a lot of different varieties that are available within the faux tree that kind of suits different spaces of the home. We have a multi-trunk fiddle right here. I think that this one is really best when you really need to achieve height. This one's right about, I would say, 7.5 feet, just right here on the ground without being potted. You could put this in a large container and easily get this guy at 9.5 feet. And you could see it has a very, very narrow kind of trunk structure. So it's a little bit more architectural looking in terms of how you twist the trunk. And you can also, again, achieve really good height without taking up a huge amount of space. That's really good in some of our homes here that are coastal, that have large ceilings, but don't necessarily have a huge footprint. This is another variety that I think is really wonderful to work with. This is a fiddle that is a single trunk that just has a top canopy. I find this one to be really helpful. Let's say you have that awkward corner in a living room. It's got a chair behind it. You really don't have a ton of space. This one with its single trunk, it just gives you a really nice canopy, a pop of green up here vertically, but without really taking any of your space down here below. And last but not least, if you do have a space that you are looking to fill space that you do need to fill out, there are some great varietals of fiddle leaf. This one I think is about, I'd say, a 36 or 40-inch diameter. It's a big, broad leaf. This is great if you have that empty corner or a foyer or an entry that you're looking for a really dramatic piece. You see it all the way around. It has a beautiful full canopy and it kind of helps fill the space and make a statement. So as you can see here, when you're looking to finish out your home with a tree, a greenery, a floor plant, there's lots of options that are available for every size, for every style. And don't be afraid to try something new, to add a different varietal in that you haven't done before. I think you'll be pleased with the results. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope to see you next Tuesday.